Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today it's one of my replays and I'm in the Atlanta, a tier 7 premium cruiser. I'm on the map Haven. It's a tier 7 battle with 2 subs and a carrier, so pretty bad matchmaking. Well, at least we're top tier, right? Anyway, so I'm sitting here close to the cap, seeing if I can be of some help. The Miyoko is very nearly almost in my gun range, but also no longer spotted. So I'm just gonna sit here for a bit. We don't really have much on this side, just a Yukon and myself, and obviously my division mate in the cap, and technically also a submarine, I suppose. So I don't want to push any further on this flank for now. We'll just see and wait if that Miyoko is going to show itself again. And yes, indeed it does. Almost when I lost my patience and was already prepared to actually move elsewhere, the Miyoko appeared, and now we can pew it a little bit. Thankfully, like with my shells that will reach orbit, the island in front of me is not really much of an issue. So now we can get hopefully some damage into this Miyoko. For some reason, it looks like the enemy cruiser is really tired of floating. So he's pushing inside the cap in a cruiser. I mean, there is technically some sort of cover, and I have to admit our forces on this side aren't that strong. But it's way too an aggressive move for so early in the game. Now, of course, the Miyoko has almost reached the island. The question is, will this island stop an Atlanta? It actually might, we shall see. Well, not if it moves forward. It needs to sit in, like, the biggest part of the island. Although, like, he's sort of slowing down, I have no idea. I mean, the problem, obviously, is the one ship that we have on this flank, the Yukon, will have shots at the Miyoko, so even if I don't get it, the Yukon will. So this Miyoko is pretty doomed. It also looks like it's slightly beached, and there we go, the Yukon has done its job. So we do have both caps, and we have a few ships ahead, so this is definitely a very good start. Doesn't make this flank here look any better though. So where do I go from here? I mean, technically the other side has subs and destroyer. Now, while I'd like to raid that destroyer, maybe we don't want to go towards those subs. Also, I mean, this side here definitely needs help. The problem, of course, is that's where all the battleships are, right? There are 4 enemy battleships, and 1 is here, and the other 3 are possibly coming this way. So how do I engage this Gneiser now without getting wrecked? Well, I mean, there is a bit of an island here next to me. But this is gonna be tricky. But we might be able to position in a way that I can shoot that Gneiser now without the Gneiser now shooting back. Well, I mean, I was a little bit early there with shooting. Should have waited until I'm in the cover, I suppose. But so far the Gneiser now isn't that interested in me, and I've almost reversed to where I wanna be. But definitely a bit of impatience on my part, right? Because now I'm where I want to be. Now I have an island protecting me, and I can shoot the Gneiser now. Now, obvious problem, if the Gneiser now keeps pushing, it will eventually be able to engage me. Actually, if that Gneiser now kept pushing in a different direction, it could have spotted me rather easily. Then again, it would have shown broadside to the Yukon, which might have not been very healthy. So now I can just shoot the Gneiser now, and we'll see how low we get it before it gets close. I still have the Yukon with me that is wisely reversing. And then we have the Bayern and my division mate there as well. So there's a possibility for the Gneiser now to hit torps. The Bayern should have crossfire opportunity there. And generally it's looking pretty good. The Yukon is safe from torpedoes while reversing. The Bayern might eat fish though, the way it's pushing. But generally speaking, I mean, I would even expect that Gneiser not to take a lot more damage considering it's broadside to the Bayern. So, despite all of my hopes, dreams, this Gneiser now is actually still way too healthy, and it's getting close. Now the carrier is also getting in there. And also that Gneisenau is not, like it's now turning in a way that it's outside of my torpedo range. It didn't come in like closer to my hidey hole there. So nothing left to do but go for it. The Yukon is down. And, well, I mean, the bright side is I'm still alive after this salvo. And it looks like the Gneisenau won't live long enough to get off another salvo. So, here we go.
Problem solved, sir.
So unfortunately, despite the Gneisenau being caught in sort of a crossfire, it looks like the Yukon is down, the Bayern is down, and I did take quite a bit of damage. Still not looking too bad overall. So there is that. Now, next candidate is Scharnhorst. And, well, there is an island in front of me that stops it from seeing me, which is good news. And now I don't see it either, which is bad news. So I can go a little bit more forward. Nothing on the left flank should, on my left side should detect me. They are too far away.
We've spotted an enemy submarine.
The idea right now is that I can use this island. If the Scharnhorst comes around close, I can quite simply torpedo it. Well, hopefully. I mean, technically it can torpedo me as well. But if it can't see me, it can't time those torpedoes. Well, so is the plan, right? I'm getting a little bit too close to the island, which means my shells no longer hit the Scharnhorst, but it also means I'm in a better position to use my torps. So, actually, I'm gonna pull a radar here, just to see how it maneuvers. It doesn't keep going this way, where I originally thought I could intercept it. Part of it might be the torpedoes, part of it might be just it wanted to go into the cap in the first place, but that's fine. I can just turn and torpedo it on the other side. Now, torpedoing a ship coming around here is tricky in the sense that I have to torpedo early enough that it doesn't have much time to shoot me. And I should have aimed those torpedoes a little bit more towards that island, right? Because as soon as it sees me, it's gonna... Yeah, now it's gonna maneuver. So, not the best torpedo launch I've ever made. I could have probably gotten 3 in there, or maybe even 4 if I'd done this better. And now the Scharnhorst is still alive. And this is tricky. Scharnhorst's reload isn't that bad, but oh. Okay, it's down.
Our victory is in sight.
This almost went wrong. If it gotten off one more salvo, I'd be dead. I mean, it could have also, if it was lucky, it could have sunken with the one salvo it did get off. So, you know, not complaining there. Oh, we got a strike team. How nice. Ship-wise, it's actually pretty even still, but the enemy is just ignoring the objectives too much, so we have a very nice lead. Now that Weser is spotted. Shooting here comes with a certain amount of risk, because the New Mexico can shoot me. But it's a carrier, I can't help myself. Now the carrier is down. I'm currently trying to make for the smoke screen there, although I have a feeling this smoke screen might not last. Despite that fact, there is still an island here that I can use, and actually there's no reason to not shoot currently. There is a set that's very close to detecting me when you look at the minimap, but very close just isn't close enough and it's turning away, so I'm perfectly fine here behind this island. And I'm getting some very good damage here in Mexico. There is even a high caliber. New Mexico seems to be somewhat turning away, but it's, you know, it's a slow ship. It's a big ship, so I can just keep hitting it there. Now, some fires would be lovely here, don't you think? Like this New Mexico looks like it's a bit cold. Maybe we can warm it up. There we go, there's the fire. Although, I guess at this point, it didn't really matter. Okay then. So now it's a 4 against 5. It's very interesting because, well, we have 2 destroyers, a sub, a cruiser, and a battleship. They just have 2 destroyers and 2 subs. So despite the fact that the enemy has so many sneaky ships left, they don't really have objectives. And we're already at about 900 points. So while ship-wise the enemy could absolutely make a comeback, points-wise they need a much miracle. Especially since all of their forces are not where we are. like what the enemy needs to do is keep sinking stuff, maybe contest the capital. So time-wise, there'd be enough left, but if they can't make something happen with the points, there really is no hope for the enemy. Now I'm on very low health. I could easily be taken out, I suppose, even by the guns of Destroyer. Well, as long as, you know, the Destroyer avoids being hit by me.
Torpedoes to port.
Oh, hello, Torps. Okay, so Shiratsuyu is spotted. While we don't have a carrier anymore, the carrier still has planes in the air. Because, you know, planes just stick around for reasons. There is also a submarine, and there is the set. Well, that set is very low, I think we can get that. And actually, points-wise, once we get that set, it's just over.
Direct front.
Hello, Torps. So, that was an interesting Atlanta game. There were some close calls. I could have easily sunk against the Gneisenau. I could have easily sunk against the Scharnhorst, but I didn't. Apparently I didn't. So yeah. Somewhat close battle on ships, but you know, the enemy ignored the objective, so they got wrecked. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and I'll see you next time.